Hi everyone, Colleen here, and welcome back to bALS. Today we're going to talk about May as being ALS Awareness Month, and we're also going to take a moment to reflect on Memorial Day. I've learned quite a bit about ALS since my recent diagnosis, and I try to share these things with you as I'm also sharing my individual experiences with the bulbar onset ALS. The information I'm going over today has come from a variety of sources, all saying the same thing. So, whether I'm on the ALS Association website, CDC, Johns Hopkins, ALS News Today, um, ALS Foundation, all basically saying the same thing. There are about 30,000 people in the United States with ALS. And there are between 5 and 6,000 new diagnoses each year. Based on the entire population for the United States, that's not very many people. There's also not a whole lot of very detailed information talking about the difference between the spinal limb onset ALS versus the bulbar onset. So, getting some information is not quite clear on the 30% with bulbar onset. One place says 30% for experiencing bulbar symptoms, but most of the other places are stating that the bulbar symptoms eventually occur in most all of the ALS patients. So if we talk about 30% with the bulbar onset, that puts new cases about 1,500 to 2,000 each year. My doctor says he has about 10% of his patients with the bulbar onset, which would drop that number down into the 5 to 600 range if you apply that throughout the United States. So overall, not a whole lot of people with ALS, but this is such a horrible disease. And why am I bringing this also on Memorial Day weekend? Well, I have learned that military veterans are twice as likely to have ALS than their non-military counterparts. So this is upsetting to hear people who are serving our country being very active, helping other people, and to live out the end of their life in such a horrible disease withering away is really quite upsetting. They noticed the higher risk of ALS in the Gulf War veterans in the early 2000s. This has been something they noticed. And so they did a whole bunch of studies to see if they can pinpoint where these originated. So they researched ALS patients from all different branches of the military, and what they had discovered that the military veterans were twice as likely to develop ALS regardless of the branch they served in, their post of where they were stationed, or even whether or not they served during times of war or peace. So it was not limited to the Gulf War veterans after all. This turned out to be a number that was universal across the board as a trend. So people have speculated the reason for this. And again, just like everything else with ALS, there's not a whole lot of definitive answers. But some of the things that might contribute to military veterans being twice as likely to develop ALS might have something to do with the different things that the military personnel are exposed to, whether it has to do with the different environments the military personnel work in, higher exposure to lead or pesticides or other kinds of chemicals. Also, the extreme physical exertion has been a speculation as well. So, it did not even matter what post or whether they were in times of war or peace. Military veterans being twice as likely to develop ALS. So this is something I wanted to share with everybody this weekend and this month of May for ALS awareness. And I want to thank you for being a part of my journey. I want to thank you for watching my videos and being part of my Facebook page or showing me support. ALS awareness, we want to support as many people as we can and encourage research and also understanding, and just try to do what we can to end this horrible thing. So again, thank you for being a part of my journey. Stay tuned for my upcoming videos, and we'll see you soon.